So today's lesson is on lesson 9-3, angles, and I'm going to remind you to make sure that you take good notes and show your steps, all right? And then write today's date in the top right-hand corner, and we'll be checking your work tomorrow in class. So angles. What we have is 4 examples today: how to measure angles, draw angles, classify, and use angles to solve a problem. The first one is learning how to use a protractor. Now you see this is called a protractor, and it's very important that in step 1 you place this little dot where the vertex is of this angle RSW. This is called the vertex. From angle S, or from S to R, that's called a ray. S to W is called a ray. But this angle could be called angle RSW, and that's what you see right here, angle RSW. Now, your very first important thing is to make sure you place the center point of the protractor's base on the vertex S and align it with that straight edge that's on the protractor. And you'll see that on your protractor. Okay? We'll have protractors in class so you can work on this. Now, your next step is to use the scale that begins with 0 at the SW. So you're actually going to start with the 0 here, and you're going to move forward. And you're going to get the answer, which is 42 degrees. Now, one thing you should know from past is that this is called an acute angle. It's less than 90 degrees. We're going to review that in this lesson. But since it's an acute angle, you're not going to say that the answer is 142, which would be the wrong answer. It's actually 42, or 138 for that matter. Okay? So you have to figure it out. If it's an acute angle, obviously the answer is not 138, it's going to be 42 degrees. Alright, and so there's your answer. B. Alright, so now we have a bunch of different angles, and they want to find the measurements of GUM, so GUM, SUM, so that would be this angle here, and BUG, so BUG. They want you to find those measurements. So the first thing you have to do is you have to take your protractor, and we actually get to control the protractor, and you'll see that angle GUM, from here to here, they placed it on the vertex, starting with the M, going all the way here, it's 120 degrees. Because this right here is called an obtuse angle. And so you know that that is the answer for that one. The next one, angle SUM, is only 32 degrees. And again, starting with 0, going up to 32, and you get your answer. And finally, the last one, BUG, you start from here. Now you're using the outside, because 0 starting here is actually on the outside all the way up to 60. Again, if you remember that an acute angle is less than 90 degrees, you'll know that you wouldn't say the answer is 120 degrees. Now, you're going to need a protractor to measure angle ABC. Well, how do I do that, Mr. Visser? Well, I'm going to ask you guys on this one to actually draw your own angle, and then hopefully you have a protractor at home. Go ahead and measure that angle. There's going to be different answers for this, but the idea is to make sure that you place the vertex right at that little T point on your protractor, and also that the line starts at 0 here, and then you just go forward with it. So you can go ahead and do that. Press pause to do that, and then come back to it. This particular one, for me, works out to be 75 degrees. Okay, then they ask you to find the measures of these. Again, go ahead and create this, draw a straight line, and draw 3 angles as close as you think that you can, okay? And then label them, the H here, the D, the G, the F, and the E, and go ahead and find those measurements. Again, you're going to want to hit pause, draw that out, and figure it out. And for me, the answers are like this. Angle FDE is 37 degrees, angle GDE is 118 degrees, and angle HDG is 62 degrees. And we'll do more of these in the classroom to make sure that you understand how to use a protractor. Second example. Now they want you to draw angle R, and has a measurement of 145 degrees. So your first step is to draw a ray with an endpoint R. This is called a ray. And now what you're going to do is you're going to take your protractor, make sure it lines up with that little T, and along to the 0, and you're going to find 145 on the protractor, make a little dot, and then draw a straight line from the vertex through 145. And there you go, you have your answer, 145-degree angle. So, using a protractor, how to draw angles, what this is about. Your turn now, you get to actually do one which is a 47-degree angle, and you're going to call it angle M. So again, don't forget, you first draw the ray, set up your protractor, and then find 47 degrees. Okay, so now we have to classify angles. We talked about acute before. The easiest way I ever remembered angles, it's a cute little thing, it's a cute angle, it's less than 90 degrees. And then an obtuse angle is like an obese angle. It's greater than 90 degrees, but less than 180, so it's between those two. And then finally, if you have a straight line, that would be 180 degrees, and that would be a 180-degree angle. So when we're looking at this, this is obviously an acute angle. It's less than 90 degrees. The next one, we have a straight line here. This happens to be a straight angle. The other one I didn't talk about was the right angle. It's a 90-degree angle, and sometimes you'll see a little box there, and that shows that it's 90 degrees. But let's find out if they actually use one of those as examples. Here we have 115 degrees. It's greater than 90, therefore it's an obtuse angle. Okay, in your turn here, you get to draw these two out, okay, and then classify them as either acute, obtuse, right, or straight. All right, and go ahead and press pause, do that, and then come back to the lesson. Okay, so here's another one. This is letter C, the continuing for your turn. So you want to write this one down as well. Make sure you have that in your notes. Example number 4. Now it says the diagram shows the angle between the back of a chair and the seat of the chair. And this is an angle, and you have to classify what type of angle it is. So it's obviously greater than 95, so the angle is an obtuse angle. Alright, you can go ahead and draw this out. You don't have to draw the whole truck out. You can just draw this angle. It's 35 degrees. Classify it. Shouldn't be a problem. And you should have your answer already. But I'll give you a moment to do that. Press pause now. Go ahead and do it. And that's the end of lesson 9-3. We'll see you in class tomorrow.